Hi my friends, Amitabh Elliott here. I just wanted to make a little video. I have a general idea of the direction, but I'm just going to speak freely. And first I want to talk about 2012, December 21st. It's past now. Nothing happened. And I've been talking about this for a little while and saying that it's really Rapture 2.0. Yeah, that's what the idea was. And because I actually bought into it for a while, I believe that there's going to be some shift in reality, and that I just bought into it. But what I have to tell you is that there is a new age religion, and so many of us have fallen for it. I fell for it, and it has nothing to do with getting you in touch with who you really are. It has to do with subverting your nature and getting you into the law of attraction, getting more stuff. And it has to do with keeping you on this path of doing Reiki and energy healing and tapping and all these different modalities of healing, which are only superficial, and they're good. Reiki is amazing. Reiki is incredible. In fact, one of my first experience of feeling the energy in my hands was to Reiki. I'm not condemning Reiki. I'm not condemning EFT. It's amazing. It works. Reflexology and all these methods, they all work. Visualization works. It's good, but these are all paths. They're not paths. These are all distractions along the side of the road on the path. On the real path to liberation. The real path to illuminating our consciousness and our awareness so that we can actually see what's going on. So that we can actually become freed from our minds. Because there's a lot going on in this world that a lot of people interested in spirituality are just not willing to look at, because they are becoming Pollyanna. They're just, everything is good, God is good, everything's great, and I see it. It's like some of these people are just, oh well, this happened, oh well, and I'm making a reference to a friend, and this is not an attack on you, by the way, I love you so very much, but we're all falling for this. We're all becoming apathetic towards what's really going on. I started the process of awakening after 9/11. And I was watching the news like crazy because it blew my mind. 9/11 happened, and like everybody else, it was life-shattering. I mean, maybe not, because, I don't know, I had stopped watching television pretty much around that time. No, I guess it would have been after. But anyways, I'll tell you a progression of what happened with me. 9/11 happened. I couldn't stop watching the news, like, for weeks. It blew my mind. It was so shocking to me. I couldn't believe it. And then I heard them reporting on the U.S. casualties, U.S. soldiers that had died in Iraq, overseas, on top of the people that died in the attacks, and they were not reporting whatsoever on the Iraqi or the Afghanistan casualties. And at this point, this was, honestly, I think this was even, it was a couple of years after when I really started to get it. They were still going on about the U.S. casualties, but every day, oh, another U.S. casualty, and they show the flags, and the flags on top of the caskets, and it's terrible. But they weren't reporting at all the Iraqi casualties, because they had gone into Iraq now. And I thought, out of curiosity, I said, well, that's really weird. I wonder how many, Iraqis and Afghanis had died. Surely there must be more if they're bombing them, right? And so I went online and I searched. I searched for Iraqi and Afghani casualties, and I found a report between 10 and 90,000 from the government. And I thought, well, that's a lot. And then I looked further, and I found, sorry, my arm's getting sore. I found a report of 100,000 to 600,000 by outside agencies. And this was like a huge warning sign for me. It was like, how is this possible? How is it possible that there's such a huge disparity between these numbers? And then I just kept searching. And then I found Loose Change. I watched that. And I watched every other documentary on 9/11. If you haven't looked into this, I really hope you will. I hope you look into 9/11 truth, and there's a lot of stuff out there that's bullshit. There's a lot of confusion, but even if you just watch Loose Change, even though I don't necessarily believe every single thing in that, there's a lot of evidence in that. And there's a lot of red flags that should tip you off to say, this is not what they've told us, at least. And, for example, the Pentagon, you see no plane at the Pentagon. There's no plane there. They show 5 clips of video. Doesn't show a plane. Released several years later. The Shanksville, the plane that supposedly was brought down. Flight 91, I think it was. 77, I don't know. There's no evidence of a plane, and Building 7 fell on that day. Wasn't hit by a plane, came down right into his own footprint. Like, really? And then you look at those 2 towers and how they came down, and then you see, looks like controlled demolition. And I really am interested in Judy Wood's evidence, because I tend to think it wasn't controlled demolition now. It was something even more sinister. And so the purpose of this video is not to go on about 9/11. The purpose of this video, I hadn't set out a specific agenda. I just wanted to talk about really December 21st passing and what it really was, and why we need to wake up and be more alert. Because December 21st was, so many people, my wonderful, wonderful friends, spiritual friends, people that aren't into spirituality. It was like the people that were into spirituality thought it was going to be ascension or rapture. Like Christian terminology would be a rapture, but everybody says ascension. We're going to ascend into 5-dimensional reality and become multi-dimensional beings, which we already are. But we're going to become something. We're going to become. And how can you become what you already are? We already are everything. We're all and nothing. So how can you become more? It's ridiculous. And it's really a savior mentality. It's wanting to be saved. And this is a scary world, I know that. And hell, if we could all be saved, bring it, please. If there's some higher power that can help this world, I would pray that, and I do pray that they help us, angels or God or whatever, because this world needs help. People are suffering. And really, though, there was like that camp who believed in ascension, and then there's everybody else who has this sort of joking belief about, it's the end of the world. But really, there actually was a little bit of real fear for a lot of people, save the world and blah, 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 Nuribu and blah, blah. And so, really what that was, it was a several year process of distracting us from doing our spiritual work, getting the New Age people. New Age is such a con. New Age is a con. Getting people that are into their spirituality to stop practicing, to just do the Reiki, just to do the EFT, releasing your emotions, and all this stuff that's taught as, all these spiritual teachers that are teaching half-truths, Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra, all these people teaching half-truths. They're not teaching the real path. They're teaching pieces of it, but they're not telling you the whole way. And I understand that some people aren't ready to take these steps, because the real path, my friends, the real path, the real answer to all our suffering is to release ourselves. It's to let go of our identity, who we think we are. It's to let go of all our pain and all our suffering and all our wounds. They're not real. It's to let it all go, everything. It's to be totally surrendered into this present moment. And that doesn't mean having to work on your problems, having to work on your psychology, having to work on your healing yourself from past traumas. Because you can't heal yourself from past traumas. And if you even just look at the idea of the law of attraction, if you're trying to heal something, then you're resisting it. You know what I mean? So really the answer is, my friends, the Buddha has it right. Had it right. It's realizing that everything is impermanent, including yourself, including all your thoughts. That there is no self. You cannot find the self. It's a false reality, a false identification, a false belief. And dukkha, that we're suffering. That in life there is suffering, even in joy, even in pleasure, there is suffering. Sexuality, there's suffering. That's why the Buddha warned so much about sexuality. And I'm going to show you, I showed you in my other video. I don't think you're going to be able to see this. Here we go. Whoever overcomes this wretched craving, so difficult to overcome, from him sorrows will fall away, like water from a lotus leaf. And again, this one also. Do not give way to heedlessness, do not indulge in sensual pleasures, only the heedful and meditative attain great happiness. And now, I know a lot of people aren't ready to take this step. I can't say I'm fully ready. I mean, I'm not becoming a monk here yet. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna enter into monastic life. But really, renunciation of the world is the answer to the end of our suffering, to the end of this illusion. But we're so attached to it. We want it to continue. We want to enjoy. We want to make money. We want to have sex. We want to have a partner. We want to be loved. But all these things, these are all distractions from what we really need to do, is to give ourselves away. It's not to say that we should allow ourselves to be abused and somebody's abusing us and talking bad about us and just allow it to happen. It's about releasing me, releasing I, and just becoming whatever it might be beyond it. Because the mind is so powerful. Whatever you believe is true. You take a sugar pill and you believe it's medicine, and it becomes medicine. Your body creates everything that is needed for the effects of the medicine, and it works better. So, the mind is so powerful. I realize this video is going all over the place. But I just really want to help people wake up and see what's really going on. And I've seen it so many times. I was dating somebody, I'm not going to say who it is, but they're having problems with their vision. And this person didn't want to see me. And I was laying there in stillness, and I practice a lot, I meditate a lot. And I can get into these spaces of emptiness, and inspiration comes, and knowing comes. I wrote 8 songs in the last month. I almost finished writing an entire album in a month. And my meditation practice has been very strong. It's because I have this open awareness tied with ability, tied with skills. But I was laying in bed, this was several years ago, and this girl I was dating was having eye problems. Inflamed eyes. I don't know that she was actually having trouble seeing, but she had inflamed eyes, redness, and pain, itching. And she went to all these doctors, and they told her it was this, they told her it was that, they gave her medication, didn't work. And I was just laying there one day, and I wasn't even thinking of her or her problem, and it just came. I just knew. I knew why she was having problems with her eyes. And it was because she wasn't willing to see me. And out of all her friends, I'm really the only, or was, I don't know about now, but the only one who was interested in releasing. And I still got attached, and I sure did, and I suffered. But I was really the only one that was teaching about releasing and just letting everything go, not healing wounds, just letting it all go. And she was very much into healing her wounds, and as so many people are, think that there's something to heal. There's nothing to heal. You're completely whole and perfect as you are. You just have to transcend the belief in unwholeness. And as I told her, I called her and I said, "Can I tell you something? You might not believe it, but I know it's true. And if you'd like to know why your eyes are having problems with your eyes, I can tell you." She said, "Okay." And I said, "It's because you're not willing to see me, and because out of everybody you know, I'm the most clear channel for spirit. And what you want most in your life is spirit to come in, and you're blocking spirit through blocking me." And I told her this. And then I called her, and then she said, "I don't believe it. I don't think so. I love you, and I thank you for telling me that, but I really don't believe it." And I called her a couple of hours later, maybe 4 hours later. And I said, "How are your eyes?" I said, "How are your eyes?" And she said, "They're fine. They're not bothering me anymore at all." And I said, "Well, then it was true then. What I told you was instant healing." "Oh no, I still don't believe it." And so the reason I'm telling this is not to out this person. I haven't told her name. It's to show an example of how our mind is so unwilling to see. And I said, "How can you not see though that when I told you that, and once you realized what was going on?" And then she opened up to me a little bit. She was answering the phone. She talked to me for a little while, and she opened up a little bit, not a lot, but it was enough. And the realization and the knowing was enough for her to have the healing. And so with this December 21st, with what happened is, I believe that so many of us got suckered into believing that something was going to save us. And nothing is going to save us. Nobody will ever save you. The Buddha won't save you. Jesus won't save you. Ascension, the archangels won't save you. Nothing will save you except for releasing that which you believe needs to be saved. Nothing will heal your wounds except for just seeing clearly, looking within your body, releasing all thought, releasing all need to become. That's what the Buddha taught. was the end of suffering is the end of becoming. When we stop our need to become, to be, and that's where this whole false teaching of I am, and I've talked about that, is even I am that I am, I think is a little bit removed from the truth. But it's so much closer than I am. I am beautiful. I am Amitabha. I am brilliant. I am God. I am all this. Anytime you invoke I am, it's a lie. I am is not the truth. I am and attach it to anything is not the truth. You attach something after I am, and it's a lie. Because that's separation from wholeness. That's separation from everything. The only truth is silence. Truth is the unspeaking. Even everything I'm telling you is not really the truth. It's a lie. And maybe it points to looking for the truth, to realizing the truth, to practicing so that you can realize the truth. I don't know. But all I know is that words always fail. Something that is closer is music, sound. If you look into cymatics, you find that cymatics. You find that sound, if you have a reasonable ability to discern what's real, you look at these cymatics and you see how it, by changing frequencies, sending these frequencies through a plate and through grains of sand, that just creates matter. It creates form and creates patterns. And so it seems so obvious, and everybody talks about we're all energy, everything's energy, everything's frequency and vibration, that it's sound that is creating and sustaining this world. Maybe not creating, but at least it's like sustaining, I'm not sure what creates the energy, but maybe this energy just is, and sound is what holds it into place and what creates it into form. And yeah, who knows? Maybe this earth will ascend, but it just, after Eckhart Tolle's book, A New Earth, came out, and then all of a sudden everybody's talking about a new earth. It's like, come on, really? It's so obvious that this idea was hijacked by this New Age lie, and that there's going to be another physical earth, and it's just nonsense. And it was really, an elitist attitude that I had myself. That, trust me, ask my family. I've said some things about, ascension in 2012, and I really did believe that, if you're not ready in 2012, then you won't be ready, and it'll be hard for you. And it's just nonsense. Things don't occur like that. Nature doesn't occur like that. A tree takes a long time to grow. It takes a long time to die. And so transformation on massive scales, if there were some shift, vibrational shift, takes a long time. However, you can, in your own life, perhaps this world will transmute and transform into something totally different, and reality will change. But really, the power is always within you. It's always within you to release yourself and to release your need to be, so that you can unbecome and become enlightened. How's that for an oxymoron? Realize enlightenment. Realize your nature. Realize that which is always. Because there is an alwaysness. There is something that is permanent. In reality, in this experiential world, the only permanence is impermanence. Is that everything changes. But there is a foundational underpinning to this world. Science would probably call it the 0-point field, where everything's stopped. There's no more vibration. But there's just this energy, this creative field. And I think it's even beyond that. I think that Nibbana or Nirvana, the ultimate reality as it's called, is beyond all even energy. And it's just, I don't know, because I haven't experienced it, but I'm reading the teachings of the Buddha, and it's the only thing that makes sense to me. Out of all the spiritual teachings, I love Wayne Dyer. I love Deepak Chopra. I love Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle is amazing, but he's not teaching the real truth. He is, he's the closest out of all of them. But even he doesn't tell people that you should meditate. That you're probably going to need to meditate in order to realize egolessness and who you really are. He recommends feeling the body, and that's a great step. But our minds are so weak. Our ability to focus is so weak in this world because we've been taught and conditioned, and our attention spans are so weak that in order to maintain awareness for any length of time, we're just not able to do it. And that's why we need to meditate and spend the time every single day. And it's really concentration practice, because it takes concentration to keep your awareness on your body so that you can experience things how they really are. You can experience the real deeper energies that are going on within. So instead of trying to release and shift wounds, you just see the energy that's creating this pattern, the thought patterns in the mind that are creating the suffering, and the energy that really is the precursor to the thoughts that create the suffering. Because it's just, we've got these sankharas within us, these energies that are stored, these seeds of aversion and craving and ignorance that are within us, that we just need to see. And in order to see deeply, we need to have strong mindfulness and awareness. And that's why daily meditation is crucial if we really want to awaken, if we really want to taste or realize, hopefully, the ultimate reality. And I pray for you that someday you will find the path to your own liberation. I'm not going to tell you it's Buddhism. I'm going to tell you what it is. You have to discover that. For me, it's the teachings of the Buddha. It's the Eightfold Path. And I looked at it for a long time, and I didn't get it until I went to Vipassana. I started having these experiences that told me that it was all about releasing myself. I knew this. I've known this for a while. I did channelings, and the channelings all said that too. And then the Eightfold Path, as explained and expounded by Goenka in the Vipassana teachings, confirmed it all. So check it out. Check out Vipassana if you want a really clear path, and the teachings of the Buddha. And I would say Theravada Buddhism, if you want a really clear path that has no dogma. It's all just about self-transformation and self-releasing and becoming the unborn again. Because it's going to happen. Like my friend Jocelyn just said, it might take 1,000 lifetimes. But the sooner the better. Because this world really needs you. And we really need your awakening to heal. Because I don't want to see any more people die and suffer. Because they're all dying in vain for profit. And I know it's all an illusion. But it is what it is. And I love you. Have a wonderful day. And I want to send you a wish of metta really quick before my phone dies. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peace. May you be safe. May you be filled with love and kindness and compassion. May you be free of anger, animosity, jealousy, lust, greed, and enmity, and pride and desire. May you generate pure love. May you generate pure awareness and detached being. May you know the unconditioned. May you know the ultimate reality. May you know Nirvana. liberated in this lifetime and all past, present, and future lifetimes. I love you.